Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, where we have entered the dwarven city of Orzammar.
I hear there are all kinds of rules that govern the proving. They get very mad if you break the rules.
Good to know, Liliana.
Did you hear about that brand that wore a disguise and fought in the provings? What a scandal!
I can't wait to watch Piotr fight. He's so accomplished.
My money's on the twins in round 2. Think again.
Good day, Grey Warden.
Hello.
Good day, stranger. Welcome to the proving arena. We're still closed until the fighters make their preparations, but come back this afternoon if you want to watch the show.
What's a proving?
Oh, I forget you surfacers do things so differently. The provings are where the best fighters in Orzammar prove their worth and the worth of their houses. Provings can also settle matters of honor. Whoever wins receives Valos Atreidum, the ancestors' blessing. Whoever loses is deemed unworthy. All judgments in the ring are final.
And there's a proving happening today?
Prince Balin called a citywide proving this afternoon to honor King Endrin's memory. All the best fighters in Orzammar will face each other in sight of the ancestors and win honor for their champions.
Sounds like fun. I'll come back then.
Enjoy our grand city.
Is there anything else over here? No. What's this lead to?
Impossible.
Okay, nothing else here. Moving on. Killed 198 Darkspawn. Not bad.
So, you truly do not believe in any sort of higher power?
It has been bothering you, I see. No, I do not. Must I?
What do you believe happens to you after you die, then? Nothing?
I do not go to sit by the Maker's side, if that's what you mean.
Only those who are worthy are brought to the Maker's side. So many other sad souls are left to wander in the void, hopeless and forever lost.
And what evidence of this have you? I see only spirits, no wandering ghosts of wicked disbelievers.
It must be so sad to look forward to nothing, to feel no love and seek no reward in the afterlife.
Yes, the anguish tears at me so. You have seen through me to my sad, sad core.
Now you're simply mocking me.
You notice? It appears your perceptive powers know no bounds.
Okay. Now then. Janar Armories. Tapster's Tavern. Fiore's Imports. Diamond Quarter. Dust Town. Let's go this way. Janar Armorers. Ooh, what's this? Life in Orzammar. The dwarves of Orzammar are quite unlike those found in most human cities. Although Orzammar derives its vast wealth from trade with human kingdoms, all dwarves who come to the surface to trade are stripped of their position in society. Dwarven merchants are so ubiquitous in human cities that many people labor under the impression that all dwarves are merchants, or that their whole race worships coin and trade. But these service dwarves are atypical creatures, the ones willing to give up all ties to their kin and sacrifice their rank in order to conduct business. Below ground, the dwarves are a people obsessed with honor, their own and that of their family. Most nobles incorporate chainmail even into formal gowns, because slights and insults often turn deadly. They are people who revere excellence and strive to achieve it in all things. Even members of the servant caste have been elevated to paragons, usually posthumously, in recognition of remarkable service. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Hello.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail. At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum.
You know anything about what's happening with the king?
I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harrimont's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Aedukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object.
Are you part of the Smith caste?
Aye, for 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a fall and tacet, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're not a smith yourself.
No. Can I see what you have?
Of course. Keep in mind, we also take items on trade.
Do you have any gifts? No. Ooh, crossbow. Liana, can you use... Nope, you need 34 dexterity. Oh, and Liliana is the only one who can use it. Let's see... I'll sell that. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna move some stuff around. I'll take that. Morgan. It's fine.
A Trust Valar, stranger. Here for armor or conversation?
Yeah.
Of course.
Let's...
Keep in mind, we also take items on trade.
Yep, I know. I was just here. I was just checking something. Sell those. Can't wear that. I could sell this. $38. Wow. Yeah, we're not strong enough. Sorry. I should probably buy Alistair or Sten. They're probably beefy.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
What were you praying for?
My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
What happened to him?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Did anyone go after him?
The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by dark spawn that way.
I'll look for him if you want.
How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
You met a woman named Vilda in the Orzammar Commons who was praying for her son Ruck, a smith who was lost on a Deep Roads expedition 5 years ago. Vilda does not know if Ruck is alive, dead, or worse. You've agreed to look for signs of Ruck in the Deep Roads.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Your allegiance to this Balin is clear. Why?
Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not.
Some say Balin killed his father.
Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade.
You approve of this chaos?
Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change.
Orzammar can't be divided with the Blight, though.
Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against dark spawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you.
Can I see what you have, then?
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
This tome gives the reader 1 or more points to spend on attributes, but is rendered useless afterwards. Whoa! Star-cut sapphire, almost the color of the night sky. An elegant gold disc suspended from a ribbon that bears the mark of Andraste's flame. A monument to the pot valiant and appropriately hammered gold. Lack of lid allows for a quick pour and, more importantly, refill. Never stale brew when you facilitate swift consumption. An ornate silver ring with a decorative element made to look like the horned head of a demon. A pair of polished golden hoop earrings. Okay, who likes jewel? Is that Shale? Shale like jewels? You know what? I think I'll buy this too. Let me see. Fear of blood magic has stignified academic dissection, but dedicated scribes keep anatomical works from disappearing. This book allows training that modestly increases the reader's base attributes. So who do I want to give this to? Let's give it to Morgan. Did I do it?
Interesting.
What? You don't like that? I know you want this.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Shale, do you like sapphires?
Very nice indeed.
Questionable? Can I not? Does it have to be me? Well, it won't let me use it. What the heck? Oh, wait. Did I? I guess I used it on me. Yep, I used it. Okay then.
Maker's blessing on you, brother.
I didn't think dwarves believed in the Maker.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Whose permission do you need to open a chantry?
The Shaperit controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
The Shaper of Memories?
The Shaper of Memories controls the Shaperit, Orzammar's record system. Like the Chantry's historians, but more thorough. They track the births and lineage of every dwarf born in the city, every property sale, death in battle, marriage, or divorce.
Do you want me to talk to him for you?
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please, let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Okay. Brother Burkle would like to establish a chantry in Orzammar to spread the chant of light to the dwarves. However, he needs the permission from the Shaperit to do so. You told Brother Burkle that you would speak to the Shaper of Memories on his behalf. Shaper can be found in the Noble Quarter. What do you got? Large chip nature. Plus 10 spirit. Plus 20 electric. Plus 10 fire. Let's switch you up, Shale. Make you look curdy. What do we got here? The casts. Visitors to Orzammar should keep in mind that the hierarchies of dwarven society are much more complex than our own. It is easy to gravely insult a man simply by mistaking his position. Since this can lead to unnecessary loss of life and limbs, I will attempt to mitigate the danger for my fellow travelers. The society of Orzammar is divided into nobles, warriors, smiths, artisans, miners, merchants, and servants. Now, you will undoubtedly say to yourself, we have all those divisions among our own people. This is a dangerous misconception. Certainly, we do have nobility, artisans, merchants, and these positions are largely inherited from our parents. However, the younger children of noblemen often choose to be artisans or soldiers. The sons of merchants may join the army, or become servants, or apprentice themselves to a craftsman. This is all freely chosen, limited perhaps by the circumstances of birth, but still chosen. What is a matter of choice for most human folk is dictated entirely by birth for dwarves. No one may become a smith who is not born to smith caste parents. A servant who marries a noble woman will never be a noble himself. And although his daughters would be nobles, his sons would be servants, for daughters inherit the caste of their mother, while sons inherit the caste of their father. Let's go check out Dust Town. Armor doesn't make a character harder to hit, it just reduces the damage received from a successful weapon attack. Got it. Most powerful foe, Uldred.
I think I just stepped in something.
I'll make sure to get Alistair to wash your boots when we get back to camp. Alistair is basically our manservant, unofficially.
Enemies approaching.
Whoa!
Don't give them the advantage. Begun. I shall do it.
Well, this is a warm welcome.
It shall be done. I shall do it.
Huh. The caste system in Orzammar includes many groups of privilege, the nobility and the warriors above all others, but to a lesser degree the merchants and the smiths and the miners. Tradition establishes a clear hierarchy, but as in any culture with an upper class, there is also a clear underclass. These unfortunates, the so-called casteless, are believed to be descendants of criminals and other undesirables. They have been looked down upon since Orzammar's foundation. They have taken up residence in a place called Dust Town, a crumbling ruin on the fringe of Orzammar's common areas. Orzammar society considers these casteless lower than even the servant caste. Indeed, the casteless are not allowed to become servants, as it is too honorable a position. They are seen as little better than animals, their faces branded at birth to mark them as the bastard children of the kingdom. Their home district, little more than a slum, is a haven for crime, organized and otherwise. Orzammar's guards seemingly cannot be bothered to patrol its streets. The best that most casteless dwarves can hope for in life is that the whim of a local crime lord, ended abruptly by violence or an overabundance of toxic lichen ale. Even so, there is some hope for the casteless, a dangling rope that offers a way up into greater Orzammar society. Since a dwarf's caste is determined by the parent of the same sex, the male child of a nobleman is part of that noble's house and caste. Strangely, it's acceptable for casteless women to train in the arts of courtly romance to woo nobles and warriors. They are known as noble hunters. Any male born from such a union is considered a joyous event, considering the low rate of dwarven fertility. The mother and entire family are then taken in by the father's house, although they retain their caste. The dwarves we know on the surface are also considered casteless once they leave Orzammar, although this is only relevant to those who return, if they are allowed to return at all. Dwarves who leave for the surface, the sun-touched, as they are often called behind their backs, lose their connection to the stone and the favor of the ancestors, and thus are worthy of little more than pity, for upon dying they are said to be lost to the stone forever. Put that way, it seems a sad existence indeed. From Stone Halls of the Dwarves by Brother Jinna TV. Hello, Rogic? Rogic?
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform.
I'm Aedan, a Grey Warden.
Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity, especially for someone with a few connections above ground.
I'd like to hear what you're asking.
No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee.
Must be dangerous if you're paying so much.
More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it.
I don't have that kind of money.
Long as you keep your eyes down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
Whoever you're looking for, it's not me, I swear.
I wasn't saying anything. Alamar's Emporium. Hello.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell.
Let me see your wares.
Of course.
remarkable amethyst.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
Okay, I don't know who to give those to. Dang it. I did it too early. While your concerns have merit, the Assembly has made itself clear. Space within the TIG is at a premium, but the intended function of the Hall merits the additional resources committed. The statues of the Paragons must be the core of the Hall of Heroes. There's no other placement that so benefits dwarven interests. It's the first glimpse that surface ambassadors have of Orzammar. An introduction not just to our living ancestors, but also to the stone from which we were born. They must see its shape before they can understand the complexity of its raw form. The hall must also serve a second purpose, as a last sight for departing brethren. Those who choose to leave must do so with the heavy gaze of their ancestors at their backs. It is a reminder of duty and of consequence. We will promote all manner of trade, but also reinforce that those who leave for too long will return as strangers to the stone. Pursuant to Order 5-1A, no dwarf of indeterminate caste may conduct business in the commons. This was subsequently clarified by the Assembly to mean that the owning and operating of stalls or kiosks is limited to those of identified and approved house names with traceable ancestor lineage of at least 3 generations. Exceptions include individual purchases of goods or services from established stalls or kiosks, provided the funds are presented at the opening of the transaction at the discretion of the stall or kiosk owner. I'm sure you understand the need to maintain strict quality control over all goods and services that flow through Orzammar, especially when we are marking a concerted effort to encourage outside investment. The standards of Dusttown and that of the common brand are simply not sufficient. Your trade permit is hereby denied. Your efforts have been exemplary, but these self-proclaimed cartels must defer to the Assembly and restore order. Exclusion from caste and society is no excuse. Perhaps suggest that it would be a simple matter to march on the quarter, or simpler still to withdraw infrastructure support. A tunnel breach would be most unfortunate, but current policy direction prohibits any deals that would legitimize cartel operations. Downward pressure on certain elements of our society has proven useful in shoring up the economy with an excess of affordable labor. It also encourages enlistment in the Legion of the Dead, the one accepted path to partial redemption and a vital force in our weakening front lines. This model suffers when criminals create their own hierarchies with alternative methods of social advancement. Every stone has a face that can't be carved, a side that must be earthward. We need their so-called Dusttown, but would be inadvisable to include that in your negotiations. We have the utmost faith in you, Capt. The rest is obscured by bloodstains. From a confidential Assembly directive regarding proliferation of cartels.
Coin. You got any coin? I have needed since yesterday.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside?
I'm Aedan. Pleased to meet you.
My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky.
You just have to hold on real tight with your feet.
Yes. When my dad left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Don't fall into the sky when you go back up there.
I have heard much about the halls of the dwarven kings, but the stories do it no justice. It is so strange, harsh, yet beautiful.
Yes, it is very grand.
And have you seen those tiny pig-like burrowing animals? They are adorable. I wish I could have one as a pet. But they must be hard to catch and... Oh, just ignore me. I'm so silly sometimes. Let's just go.
Yes? Why is someone like you hanging about Dusttown so much?
Do you know anything about the small rodents down here?
Nugs? Yes. They don't got much meat on them, but down here you can't be picky. Better than nothing.
How would I get one?
Nuggets. Lots of people sell them here in Dusttown.
No, I want a live one.
What for? You going to cook them up yourself?
My friend would like one as a pet.
Yeah, I can find a nug for you. Could even get one from outside the city. Those ones in the deeps don't eat as much garbage. I don't know what they eat, but they always seem healthier, you know? Shiny coats, bright eyes. How much you giving me?
How much do you want?
Don't know. Depends on how big a one I catch. Give me some time. I'll hunt him down for you.
And he just disappeared. Hip deep in mad nugs, our screams deafen their keen ears. We will be nug poop. From Songs That Only Nugs Can Hear by Paragon Ebrian, 584 Exalted. The nug is an omnivore common to the deep roads, a hairless creature that is almost blind as well as completely docile. It spends most of its time wading in shallow pools as well as mud pits, feeding on small insects, worms, and, in a pinch, limestone and simple metals. Indeed, the digestive system of the nug is legendary, able to make a meal out of almost anything a nug finds on the cavern floors. Nugs reproduce rapidly, spreading into any niche within the deep roads they can find, and serve to support a variety of predators such as giant spiders and deep stalkers. So too do dwarves make meals of them. Nugs are, in the poor slum portions of Orzammar, one of the most common sources of meat available. Some dwarves even domesticate the creatures, claiming to find the creature's high-pitched squeaks pleasing. And he just went poof.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dusttown. Help a poor cripple.
Here's 5 silvers.
Well, thank you truly, my lord. That's right good of you. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the diamond quarters, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezda to fill?
Tell me about Dusttown.
It's pretty much as you see it. The raw stone where the casteless live, because we're not welcome elsewhere. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dusttown.
What do you mean by brand?
Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place.
How'd you get crippled?
I'd say it was an accident, try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. Duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. Never healed proper.
Can they just get away with that?
I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dusttown.
Where does a body go to get drunk around here?
If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want.
I should go.
I'll just stay out of your way then.
Spare a bit for the needy? Please. It's not for me, it's for my child. Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
Why doesn't your son's father help you?
A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout. And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it!
What does your family want you to do?
My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a miner, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him.
That's horrible.
I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him.
Wait, is that so... Maybe I could reason with your family.
You would do that? But why?
I don't like to see a child suffer.
Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Ordell at Tapster's. Got it. You met Zerlinda, a penniless young woman in the slums. Once part of the mining caste, she was disowned for having a son with a casteless man, and is now alone and destitute. You agreed to try to persuade her father, Ordell, to take her back, so she and her child can lead normal lives. Ordell frequents Tapster's Tavern in Orzammar. What's over here? Oh, Slum's house. I guess we can check this out. Hello?
What now? I am done.
Huh. Hey, you're back.
I got him. He's all squirmy, but he's a big fella.
Yeah, I'll say. How much do you want for him?
Don't know. I'll take anything you can give. He's a fat one, though. Worth a bit.
20 silver?
I knew you'd be good on your word. Nice doing business.
The Nug's nose twitches as it stares at the world with clear, inquisitive eyes. It seems to enjoy being stroked.
Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you.
He's pretty cute. Have fun.
Thank you so much. You've made my day.
Now we have a pet at camp. Carver, you better get along. Well, I guess that's it for Dust Town. Let's go back to the Commons and go see maybe the Diamond Quarter. If all else fails, go for the eyes. Liliana, you blind them. Alistair, chop them up. Did I go in here? Tapsters. Nope, I totally went past Tapsters, I think. Well, we got a few things in here anyway.
A brawl would be a pleasant diversion right about now.
No, we're not starting a bar fight.
Atrust Valis, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
I'd like to hear about the city.
So you come to Tapsters? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view.
Is there any place I should see while I'm here?
The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castless build their nest. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving.
I'm looking for someone.
Aye? Maybe I can help.
A man named Ordel.
He's the one in the corner, still dusty from the mines. Don't expect him to be chatty.
Thank you.
I'm afraid to walk the Commons alone at night. Those Carta thugs are horrid.
I'm coming! I'm coming! Hold on!
Never mind, I see you're busy. Sorry.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew?
Who are you?
Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself?
I'm Aedan, a Grey Warden.
Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that.
You knew Duncan?
I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines.
Who's your unit fighting?
Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live.
You work for Balin?
I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs.
I've never been in the Deep Roads.
Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones.
Who's sending you out?
Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost Tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after.
Who's Bronca?
Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the Deep Roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
In dwarven vaboragas vi in vagabelnathag. And in der visasarader vahaden wimedwal. Nasunkalano vrug and premalano vam. Arhandeka paragan veram de shir or am de zig. En tinna vreka ansordans nedeg varax gor helvarink. Parstak dissa parva gorda jebindar deg tavir radink. Gorda shebna gorham vraxa paragan veram gadrig.
Hey, Liliana, you want to do some bardic tales? Okay, then.
What are you looking at, stranger?
Are you Ordell?
I could be. What business is it of yours?
I met your daughter.
I have no daughter. Could be you met a castless whore claiming she was once mine.
Dude! What kind of monster throws his child out on the street?
Oh, I'm the monster, not the castless wretch that filled my daughter with his brat. I've got a family and a reputation to protect. I'm not letting one stupid girl drag us all down.
If you don't take her back, she'll die.
What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she has to do to come home. I never wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it?
Could you pretend your child never existed?
I've been trying. It's not as easy as I thought. Look, just tell her... We never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that... Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Why do people get disappearing in front of me like that? It's creepy. Ordell has come around and is willing to take back Zerlinda and her child. Zerlinda will be happy to hear about this. Yay!
Bottles all around?
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in pints? I'm getting one.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
Controversial opinion for a dwarf in the assembly.
Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
How does the caste system work anyway?
Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill.
So you get to vote on the next king?
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
Who are you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
I should go.
As you wish.
What? Get away. You'll change like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends.
What are you talking about?
They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
3 weathered parchments with 3 versions of the same incomplete story. And when his kingdom fell, so disappeared the stolen riches of an age. The beast, the unbound, dormant until one of true spirit claims his throne. So must hunt the hero of his people, the principled who would search for ancient evil. This is how they can make a real difference. Scribbled in the corner is a shaky hand. 3 pages, 3 ages. Same story, updated. Same as the tavern song, but older. Signature torn on purpose, but compare and get Vilmi Madon. All from him. How?
Did you need something else, Warden?
Can I get a drink?
With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have?
Wow. How about a round of your best brew for myself in the house?
Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentis Red for everyone. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
Thank you. Cheers, everybody. Okay, let's quickly head back to Dust Town and get Zelinda out of there. Carver's most powerful foe was a Hound Knight. Hey, Zelinda.
You're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say?
Your father wants you both to come home.
Both of us? I don't believe he said that. I've never heard him refer to my son as anything but trash. He calls him it. But maybe Mother convinced him. Or you did. Oh, my friend. I cannot thank you enough. If this were a story, my son would grow to manhood and pledge himself as a knight in your service. When he grows up, I will send him to you. I promise.
Thank you. It's very kind of you. You both take care now. A dwarven knight. Maybe when I retake High Ever, I'll let him come live with me. Be my squire or something. That could be nice. Morgan's most powerful foe was a Hurlock emissary. And she suffered 0 injuries so far. Wow. Not bad. Okay, we've done this side. Let's go check the other. What's this? Vigor's imports?
No, I cannot.
Aww.
One day the Paragon Branca will return. Oh, and on that day...
Commoner. Lots and lots and lots and lots of commoners.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
One sec, ma'am.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Are you alright?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work I've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself.
Aren't dwarves immune to lyrium's effects?
Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs and ours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck.
Let me see your wares.
Right. Best in the trade, you know. I worked the ore myself.
Do you have any gifts? Okay, I gotta figure out who takes these jewels. It cost me a lot. Ooh, a gold mirror. Gold amulet suspended by a chain. And a bracelet. Wow. 87 gold. Plus 10 fire. Plus 20 fire. Okay, I gotta stop spending. Here, Morgan, have some gifts. Are those supposed to go to Zevran, maybe?
What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly.
Don't be ridiculous, it's a gift.
You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift, not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful, truly.
What about all the times I've been giving you all these jewels? Those are gifts too. Speaking of which.
A fine gift. You have my thanks. Interesting.
Oops. Brilliant cut colorless stone. I'm gonna save that and see if Zevran maybe wants it. Ooh, hold on.
Of all the...
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Why'd you say that just because I picked you? That's weird. Alistair. Have his silver demon head ring.
Is that for me? Really? Wow.
Zevran, do you like these jewels?
How nice.
Who like... Never mind then. Okay, bye-bye.
Blood and damnation.
Hey, you're coming right back, don't worry.
Indeed.
Yes. Indeed.
Let's have the two mages.
You look like you're not from around here.
I'm not. Can I help you?
I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
Circle of Magi? My companion here's the senior enchanter of the Circle.
Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation and a great responsibility.
We'd be happy to answer any questions.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
So what do you want with the Circle?
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
I can bring the Circle your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Teventer Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Wow. You met a young dwarven woman named Dagna, whose biggest wish is to study magic at the Circle of Magi. Even though dwarves are incapable of doing magic, she wants to study its theory. You agreed to go to the Circle to ask them if Dagna can study. There's the diamond quarter.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. Now I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs. I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
Liliana, I just gave you a nug as a gift. Seriously? If I see any nugs, I'll send them your way.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Nug Wrangler Bormar has lost his nug inventory. Find one of them to get him back on his feet. Oh, there's one. Yoink. Dang it. There's the Shaper's life. Nope. Orzammar has carved a legacy from the stone, but history is more than the comings and goings that fill the streets. These caverns are old cuts and well-traveled. The true will of the stone is revealed far from the halls of politics and commerce. The Shaper must step away from the familiar and seek out revelations from the frontier or buried secrets from paths abandoned. The Shaper must first walk away if he is to return. First steps from the Shaper's life. Found a nug.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell.
I got a nug for you.
Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Sweet, 12 silver. Can't go in there. Oh, there's one right there. Here, found another.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
To the diamond quarter. Quickly. Think I'll quickly go through this and then we'll call it a day. And next time we'll continue doing quests in Orzammar. So yeah, I'll just quickly go through the diamond quarter. And then we should basically be done with exploring most of the area.
From what I've heard of dwarven politics, I'm almost surprised we haven't seen blood running these streets.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
I can see that.
News of the hour! Questions remain as to Lord Balin's involvement in King Endrin's death. Possibility of patricide scandals shocking.
Nah. What do we got here? Haramont's estate.
Welcome to Lord Haramont's estate.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Haramont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I would speak with Lord Haramont, please.
In an ordinary time, Lord Haramont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Haramont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Haramont, you will need to prove he can trust you.
What do you want me to do? Denounce Balin publicly?
If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Haramont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deschers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
So you'd like me to enter the proving in Harrowmont's name?
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
I don't want to start picking sides.
Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Dulin Ferender wants you to fight in the proving in Harrowmont's name. You should speak to Dulin when you are ready to do what he has asked.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
I hope you'll support Lord Harrowmont.
The Assembly has never named a paragon with so little disagreement as there was for Paragon Aedan. No naysayers, only a single abstention. His worthiness was unquestionable, his favor with the ancestors clear. But family rumor says that the man himself was deeply troubled. Prone to fits of melancholy and self-doubt, never satisfied with his great achievement in protecting Orzammar, he died cursing that he had not managed to save the outlying tithes. Before he rose to Paragon, he was of little note. The memories tell us that he never entered a single proving, never sought to elevate his place among the warrior caste. He spent most of his years prior to the First Blight fighting skirmishes in the deep roads, keeping them free from surface bandits, content to live quietly with his wife and daughters. When the Blight began, it caught Orzammar in the midst of a vicious inter-house war. Most of the warrior caste was caught up in the feuding, for as word of attacks poured in, each great house demanded that the army be sent to defend their tithe, and no house would agree to sacrifice their own holdings for the safety of any others. The Assembly was so utterly tied up with the infighting that the darkspawn spread, unchecked, to the gates of Orzammar herself. In the chaos, Aedan grudgingly took command of the armies. He enlisted the aid of the mining caste to collapse overrun passages, called upon the smith caste to supply them with arms, and bypassed the Assembly and the nobles entirely. With his leadership, Orzammar was saved from annihilation. For his insubordination, he was made paragon, yet he always considered it a defeat. From A History of Aedan, Paragon, King, Peacemaker, by scholar Gertek.
News of the hour. 2 more clans endorsed Lord Balin as the new king. Change is inevitable, and it must come quickly.
Here's the royal palace. Wind's most powerful foe was a sloth demon.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Impossible.
Many of King Endrin's belongings have been rushed into storage, including trophies of his long reign. Among the boxes is a small glass phylactery. Got another revenant.
Let's make this quick! Your time to die!
More the fools say! Watch out!
Fools! Wipe them out!
Binding the second corpse walker. Cast from your host, may you find no purchase on mortal ground, bound by your true name as we are sworn to do. Nathamus Bigal, revenant and perversion of a fine daughter. No more will you test the veil, nor reach the fate to escape. Andraste hold you, demon, and bind your rage for eternity. 6 thumbprints in blood mark the end of the text. Test.
The task is finished.
I got another love letter. Dear Sir John, your ministration, while well-intentioned, hold no promise. Do not despair, for it is not you, it is of me. I required an interval to acquaint myself with the personage you awakened. I'm certain we can maintain an amiable accord and that engagements with our mutual associates will not be awkward. What was that?
You idiot, this isn't the
We must
vault.
not exhaust our supplies. I shall do it.
Okay.
I will not fail. Very well.
Oh, good thing we just happened to be strolling through.
It has begun. More the fools say!
Make him praised!
What's going on? By the ancestors.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things. Thanks again, Warden.
Huh, nothing. The beast is foreign, but the need is familiar. Home and hearth suffer beneath strength and strangeness. These new kin of this Ferelden are better as friends than strangers, so we resist on their behalf, and work with their users to bind with the stone. They no longer fear their skies, and we further our trade above. Lured from above, cornered and corralled, 3 standing in position, a 4th signals the throne. Stasis for the beast, so long as a king holds the throne, so long as a king wills it held. I went this way, right? Yes, I did. It's a pressure plate of some kind.
Yes?
Hey.
Eh. So where's everyone else supposed to stand then?
Or are there more pressure plates?
That's what I'm trying to find. That's to out. I remember doing this. Oop.
Hmm?
We must be careful against this.
Freaking dragon!
Run while you can!
It's begun. As you say.
Okay then. Female dragons take much longer to mature than their male counterparts. They too undergo a metamorphosis of short-sighted adulthood. But while males lose the use of their forepaws, females actually grow a third set of limbs specifically to serve as wings. Young females travel great distances looking for a suitable nesting site. Because of their nomadic habits, these are the dragons most frequently encountered by man. Look at that skeleton. Okay.
Glad you guys are doing your job so well.
Back to the diamond quarter. Chamber of the Assembly.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
I need aid against a blight.
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Can I talk to Balin?
You must understand, Haramont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
What must I do to prove my good intentions?
Haramont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Haramont's deception.
Irrefutable evidence? Which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence?
Haramont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Haramont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Haramont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Where'd you get the promissory notes?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Isn't there someone you could report him to?
Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Haramont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion.
I have to think about this.
Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind.
Prince Balin will not give you an audience until you prove yourself trustworthy. Vartag Gavorn has asked that you show Lord Helmy and Lady Dace promissory notes as evidence of Haramont's cheating ways. Vartag says Dace can often be found in tapsters in the Commons, while Lord Helmy seldom leaves the Diamond Quarter. Vartag awaits your decision in the Assembly Chamber in the Diamond Quarter.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace. Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
You don't recognize Grey Warden?
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the Gate Guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
Is there any way I can break this stalemate?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Ferendun, Harrowmont's man, can be found at the Harrowmont estate. Varteg Gavorn, Prince Balin's second, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
So in one, I fight in approving to show my loyalty. In the other, I delivered to notes to assembly members.
Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Harrowmont cannot trust you unproven, but he welcomes a good faith gesture.
Provings, tell me about them.
The provings are how our ancestors show their judgment, pitting body against body in a ring of scared stone. Everyone in Orzammar accepts that judgment.
Who is fighting for Balin?
The usual. A couple of Aedukans, some Gavorns. He has many men lined up, but not all of them are top-ranking. Piotin Aeducan and Wojciech Ivo are his best. They're both unpredictable, and some of the best fighters Orzammar has seen.
What did you ask me to do again?
Balin is hosting a proving tournament to honor his father's memory, but he somehow scared off most of Lord Harrowmont's fighters. If you can enter as Harrowmont's champion, you would prove your dedication well.
I'll enter and see why the others withdrew.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Beisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Find out why Basil won't fight. Find out why Guidon won't fight. What's down here? Anything? Oh, the Shaperate. Lots of stuff in here.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to?
Did you get a good look at him?
I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dusttown. They couldn't know the value.
A Shaper reports a theft from the Shaperate. The thief had a bald head and garish tattoos, suggesting he is a brand from the slums. Gotta go back to Dusttown.
Are you with that warrior girl who's always here?
Huh?
Are you looking for records of the Grey Wardens? We have many.
Good. Because our records got tricked.
The Legion of Steel. Paragon Caridin vanished in the 11th year of the reign of King Valtor, and with the Paragon the entire process for golem manufacture was lost. Expeditions were sent into the deep roads to track him, but the Darkspawn drove them all back. Finally, in the second year of the reign of Queen Getha, 126 golems, the entire Legion of Steel, were sent to recover the Paragon. None returned. The Shaper of Golems refused to support any further attempts to find Caridin, and the Paragon was officially declared dead. The Shaperate never recovered from the loss of an entire legion of golems, and never again allowed an all-golem regiment in the deep roads. From Stone Halls of the Dwarves by Brother Genetivi.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
What kind of research?
I was looking for something about the Ortan Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Ortan, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Ortan, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
I could try to find them.
You're from the surface. What do you know about fighting Darkspawn? There aren't even any expeditions planned until they settle this election. Otherwise, you need special permission from the Assembly, or some Great Lord.
I'm a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Orta has asked you to search for the long-lost House Ortan records in Ortan Tai. She believes that one daughter of the house may have survived the Darkspawn, and that she is a descendant of that daughter. If Orta finds proof that this is true, she will be raised up as a noble.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Shaper of Memories?
The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Tigs. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
I would like your permission to open a chantry here.
That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city.
I come on behalf of Brother Burkle, a cleric of Redcliffe.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
The chantry's charities could greatly aid Orzammar.
What sort of charities do you mean?
The chantry cares for widows and orphans.
Traditionally, that is their extended family's responsibility, but sometimes people fall through the cracks. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more?
Tell me about Orzammar's history.
We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn.
What are the deep roads?
They were once our highways beneath the mountains. Now the Darkspawn claim them and few venture there, except your order, who enter the deep roads when they retire, so they can die slaughtering as many Darkspawn as possible.
How'd you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caridin, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridin's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
What's a Tig?
They are to us what a colony is to surfacers.
Where is Kal Sharok?
At the other side of the old empire. During the last Blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
Let's talk basic, Orzammar.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
What's the difference between an ancestor and a paragon?
All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. But only one every few generations rises to paragon. A paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Orzammar so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name.
And that's what Branka was?
Branka is a paragon, now and into death. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her paragon status.
Where's Branka now?
She went into the deep roads 2 years ago seeking out secrets of the ancient smiths. She never returned.
How'd the caste system come to be?
According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shotgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons.
What about the casteless?
The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young.
Seems easy for you to dismiss them.
Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss?
Let's go back to my first questions.
Please, speak your mind.
Never mind, let's go.
Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
And then the Grey Warden walked 5 feet back and threw down a book. The book was called Green Eggs and Ham. I can just imagine someone in the back just sketching everything while we're speaking. There isn't a dwarf alive who remembers the deep roads as they once were. They were the network of tunnels that joined the Taigs together. To be honest, it isn't even right to give them such a simple term as tunnels. They are works of art, with centuries of planning demonstrated in the geometry of their walls, with the statues of the paragons that watch over travelers, with the flow of lava that keeps the deep roads lit and warm. The cloud gazers up on the surface talk of the imperial highway built by the magisters of old, a raised walkway that crossed thousands of miles, something that could only have been built by magic. Perhaps it is comparable to the deep roads, although we dwarves didn't need magic. I suppose it doesn't matter anymore. The Darkspawn rules the deep roads now. When Orzammar sealed off the entrances to the deep roads, abandoning everything that lay out there, we handed over the kingdom that was to those black bastards forever. To think that there are Genlocks crawling over Baunamar now, tearing down our statues and defiling our greatest works. Corruption covers everything we built out there. Every dwarf who goes out and comes back says it gets worse with each passing year. The foulness spreads a little further. And the cloud gazers think the Darkspawn are gone just because they aren't spilling out into the surface. Huh. One day when Orzammar is gone for good, they'll find out differently. Those Darkspawn won't have anywhere else to go but up, and they'll do it. The surface folk will have themselves a blight that will never end. Transcribe of a conversation with a member of the Dwarven mining caste, 890 Blessed. So yeah, what we call a blight is just what happens when they come up from ground. As dangerous as it is to mistake a dwarf's caste, it is far more deadly to mistake his allegiances among the noble houses of Orzammar. Everyone in the city is allied with someone, whether by blood or by word. The nobles do not engage directly in commerce themselves, as that is the domain of the merchant caste, but they do serve as patrons. They invest in shops or in artisans' work, and in turn reap a share of the profits as well as a measure of the credit. Merchants and warriors alike benefit from the service of a prestigious patron. The relative power of each house is ever-changing. It's usually safe to assume that whichever noble house holds the throne is at the top of the heap, but below that, things grow into a tangled mess. Houses ally with one another by marriage. They earn rank and prestige when combatants loyal to them or from their own bloodlines win provings. They earn it when artisans they patronize become sought after or well regarded, or when the merchants they invest in become successful. The degrees of power that these achievements confer is so murky, even to the dwarves, that it isn't unusual for nobles to challenge each another in provings over whose smith forges better belt buckles, or whose servant have the best manners. Nor is it out of the ordinary to find two merchants arguing over whose noble patron had won the most acclaim, for the ranks of the patron is the rank of the client. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the assembly, where the deshers, representatives of each noble house, meet. Although the king technically rules Orzammar, kings are elected by the assembly, and so each king must work constantly to maintain the support of the deshers. Kings who prove unpopular find their heirs deemed unacceptable to inherit the throne. Power then passes to another house. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of Chantry Scholar by Brother Jenna TV. No, this guy needs to make sure his book doesn't keep getting ripped apart and thrown all over Thedas. I once served a human some nug, and he proclaimed that it was like eating an unholy union of pork and hare. The idea disturbed him so much that he declined to finish his serving, and made himself content with some stale bread. Of course, this only goes to show that surfacers, humans or otherwise, have tragically unrefined palates. The nug is surely the most delicious animal I have ever tasted. Only a dead man would not salivate at the thought of a tender morsel of roast nug melting in his mouth. The paragon Varin, although his house has fallen, shall always be remembered for discovering the wonders of nug flesh. Admittedly, it was discovered only out of desperation, when he was separated from his legion and lost in the deep roads for a week, but we won't hold that against the good paragon. While nug pancakes and nuggets, my own children love these, are the nug dishes one encounters most often, nug can be prepared in other interesting and elegant ways. The late King Ansgar Aedan adored nug seared on a hot metal plate and finished in the oven, and dressed in a cream sauce flavored with deep mushrooms. You must be careful when using the mushrooms from the deep roads, because they often grow close to darkspawn bodies. They say that this is what gives them their unique flavor and intoxicating scent, but it also means that consuming too many of them may result in curious afflictions of the mind. From In Praise of the Humble Nug by Brangard Tolban, honored chef to House Aedan. I want to try some nug now. Yes, Stone's greetings, friend, you will find ceaselessly in the Legion of the Dead. The Legion accepts all. Sar was told by one of the Legionnaires himself, a dwarf who waited quietly at the entrance of the deep roads for the rest of his unit to assemble. They gathered slowly, each equipped with heavy armor and fine weapons, each painted with grim tattoos applied on at their funerals the night previous. For that is the nature of the Legion. They are all dead. Any dwarf may join the Legion, so long as he is willing to give up everything he has. The funeral rites are somber. A final goodbye is said to family and loved ones. Any material goods are dispersed to heirs and last words are said, and then it is done. The new Legionnaire marches out into the deep roads, never to return. The Legion fights against the Darkspawn to the last, striking one final blow against the monsters that have claimed so much of their homeland. Many join the Legion to clear the slate. Criminals join to avoid punishment. The dishonored join so that their houses and families need not suffer on their behalf. The bankrupted join so their debts might be forgiven. A very few join for a last chance at glory, but the Legion takes them all. This group hopes to reach the fabled fortress of Orzammar, once the Legion's home, associated with the greatest of their paragons. Orzammar is a holy place. It's lost the last great blow against the dwarven kingdoms, and its recapture would be a glorious signal to all of Orzammar. But capture it or not, all of these warriors will die in the deep roads. It is a sobering thought, and I now know why the dwarves say the Legion's charge is the battlefield's most frightening sight. They have nothing left to lose. From Stone Halls of the Dwarves by Brother Jenna TV.
As you say.
The Chant of Light is almost never heard in the halls of Orzammar. This is hardly surprising, for unlike the elves, who were literally abandoned by their gods, or the Tevinters, who worship dragons, the dwarves have no gods at all. Even the concept of worship is foreign in Orzammar. Instead, the dwarves seem to venerate the stone, a name they give to the earth itself. This seems practical for a person living underground, if perhaps a bit unimaginative. For guidance in spiritual matters, they turn to their ancestors. These ancestors, who are said to have returned to the stone, communicate their wishes to the living via brutal trials by combat called provings. The ancestors' collective wisdom is maintained by the Shaperate, which can apparently store records in Lyrium itself. Set above the ancestors, above even kings, are the paragons, dwarves who have achieved such greatness that they are elevated almost to godhood. These are the great figures holding up the hallway that leads in from the surface, the first glimpse of Orzammar that outsiders see. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Jenna TV. The blessings of the Shaperate is given only to those who walk with the stone. It is a path that cuts deep, and the road is far from secure, but those who desire to work in memory must first honor it. Document the stone, protect her, and present a new history to the memories. Only then will the blessing of the Shaperate be upon you. Orzammar has carved a legacy from the stone, but history is more than the comings and goings that fill the streets. These caverns are old cuts and well-traveled. The true will of the stone is revealed far from the halls of politics and commerce. The Shaperate must step away from the familiar, and seek out revelations from the frontier or buried secrets from paths abandoned. The Shaperate must first walk away if he is to return. Traditional dwarven folk songs. Nug sits in the mud, Nug wiggles his ears. You catch the Nug, he slips away, Nug gets to live another day. Nug sits in the mud, Nug wiggles his toes. You hook the Nug, he slips away, now the Nug runs off to play. Nug sits in the mud, Nug wiggles his nose. You tickle the Nug, he laughs away, now the Nug sits on my plate. Nug Pancakes, a well-loved dwarven nursery rhyme.
Finish.
The Search for the True Prophet. This tattered tome explores the possibility that Andraste was a powerful mage and not the Maker's chosen. It seems this book was saved from a fire at some point. I'm going to quickly save the game before I give that.
Why, thank you so much.
Nope. Wait. Let's try that again. Oh, it might be Alistair, maybe. Or, no. Give it to the dog. Give it to the dog. Do 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 do.
Oh, marvelous.
That's right, Wen is the one that likes books. Alright then. Now that that's all done, we've explored most of Orzammar. So now, it's time to do some little side quests and figure out who exactly we're going to ally ourselves with. So that is the big question. Once this finishes auto-saving, I'll do an actual save. So, if you liked this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.